So episode 7 of The Last of Us is now out on HBO Max. And guess what? Ah, man, they just continue to just poop gold nuggets. They just do. It's, well, I don't know. I'm starting to run out of words, but we're going to talk about episode 7 of The Last of Us. Let me know your thoughts. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and let's talk about episode 7. Okay, so episode 7 of The Last of Us is the newest episode, and this episode is very different from the last ones. This time, it is actually a flashback episode. I believe it's about 95 to 96% of this episode is all flashback, and it all is centric to one character, Ellie. It's about her story, about how she got the bite in the first place, and just basically developing her character. Now, when it comes to flashback episodes, like, you can easily say, yo, this episode probably should have come earlier, and you could show us from that standpoint and tell the story that way. And I get that. But what they did so well with showing us this flashback episode at this particular moment in the series is this is the moment where Joel has just been stabbed. And we see Ellie at the start of this episode trying to comfort Joel and trying to figure out a way to save him. And Joel tells her, just go. Just leave me and go. So she walks up the stairs, and then the flashback scene hits. Now, the beauty of having it right here is not only does it showcase and focus on Ellie and develop her as a character, but it also shows and sheds light on the developing relationship between Joel and Ellie. By having this episode here, the impact of the scene where Ellie is trying to save Joel just hits that much harder. It pulls on the heartstrings. It really rocks you to the core because you see just what Joel means to Ellie at this point in the series. And you see the moment that Joel realizes that and at how much she means to him. So having this in this particular episode this late on in the series is actually a really good and a really smart move by HBO and the writers by sticking it there, because not only does it develop one character, but it develops a relationship as well. Now, when we talk about this flashback, this is really Ellie's story, her come to Jesus moment of showing how she got bitten and actually developing feelings and seeing the one person that was really, really close to her and seeing that relationship and that ending. Like, this episode is very emotional. So we obviously have Storm. She comes in as the friend here. And I thought she was fantastic in Missing. And she was exceptional. And I mean exceptional in this episode. Bella Ramsey again. Exceptional. Can we just give the awards right now? Like, Last of Us have just literally won every Emmy right now. Like, just hand them over. Hand them over. Like, it's game over. Like, there's nothing that compares to it. These two were phenomenal. They carried this episode on their shoulders. And what I love is the relationship. There are so many key moments in this episode where we start to figure out what Ellie is actually interested in. And we see that this bond that she has with her friend is not just a friendship bond. There's actually a deeper meaning and more to it that meets the eye. And that is beautifully done on the scene on the carousel. Now, I know in America you call it carousel, we call it merry-go-round, but they're the same thing. So there's this moment where she is standing there and she's enjoying this moment and she's just staring at her friend. Ellie's just staring there and you can just see the music is on point, just the cinematography is on point, everything is just perfect in that moment to showcase that emotional attachment that is beyond friendship, that is actually going into lover territory. And I thought that scene, to me, that was the scene where I was just like, Bella Ramsey has arrived. She has arrived. She is no longer a potential actress. She is world class. She is fantastic. That moment where she was able to convey that with just pure emotion on her face, no dialogue, no nothing, just by looking at her. And just, I knew at that moment, I was like, this is where we're going with Ellie. She obviously likes women. Now, you can either say, oh, does work or whatever, but it is in the game. So, don't shoot anyone else because it's actually part of her character in the game. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. What I also love is Ellie going through the mall and experiencing it for the first time. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Now, if you're looking for an action heavy episode, this ain't the one. This is all driven by character. That's what this episode is. It's just there to develop Ellie as a character, to make you feel more attached to her, so that when big critical moments come on in the story as we move forward, that impact hits you harder. And that is a brilliant idea to do, and it is executed fantastically in this episode. Like, I'm just literally running out of words to describe how they do this and how good it is each week. It just gets better and better and better. Like, it's fucking phenomenal, bro. Like, this is just next level. HBO, man, they have a gold mine here, and they are just treating it with the care and the tender love. They're taking their time to develop the characters. They are focusing on the story. They're not going, let's give action heavy sequences. There is an action sequence in here that is just absolutely, like, I can't even describe the feeling that you have when it's all over and you see what happened. You see when Ellie gets bit for the first time. You see she doesn't know that she is immune. And when she gets bit, like, the sheer terror on her face of like, fuck, it's over. Like, my life is over. Like, there's nothing left I can do that's going to survive. I'm not going to survive. It's over. And then when she sees her friend, who has been bitten as well, that's it. It's over. Like, the one person that she loved the most has just been infected. And they're both going to die. Like, at this point, they're both going to die. They've just finally had that moment where the whole entire episode, she's been wanting to kiss her friend. She doesn't know how she feels, and she wants to show her that emotion. She wants to get that connection to see if it's real on her friend's end, and she doesn't know how to go about it. And then when it finally happens, they're finally like, look, that's it. We're going to figure this out. I'm not going to leave you anymore. I'm going to figure it out with you. We're going to move forward together. And then that happens, and your heart breaks. And then you go back and you think about the previous episode where she's standing there face to face with Joel and tells him that everyone that she has ever loved has either one, abandoned her, or two, died. And then they give us this episode. Like, that is how you do great storytelling. That is how you deliver on a point. And this is critical for Ellie's character moving forward. Now we understand the pain, the suffering that she goes through, how she is connecting with Joel and having that attachment because he hasn't abandoned her. This was supposed to be her and Joel right now is supposed to be her and her friend. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be tackling the world themselves, but obviously on a lover standpoint, where Joel is more of a father figure for her. And that sense of belonging, that sense of having someone actually give two shits about you. I thought it was fantastic. And this was just another fantastic episode. Like, cinematography is on point. Like, this is one of the best looking shows. The practical effects on the infected is fucking phenomenal. Oh my word, it looks insanely brilliant. I just sit there and I'm just like, bro, that is creepy looking in a good way because it just looks authentic. No CGI, no nothing. Like, that's what you have to do, and that's what HBO do so well. It's the practical side. Then you throw in the cinematography on top of that. This is gorgeous looking show. You throw in the absolute world-class acting. It's on another tier. It's so good. And then you get that final moment with Joel and Ellie as she starts to sew his wound up. That to me was just like wholesome. I cannot wait until next week's episode. I'm actually sad that we only have, 2 episodes left. We have episode 8 and episode 9. We only have 2 left of this. I'm sad because this show is just so incredible, and I just want to keep watching. I want to see an episode every single week for the rest of the year. It's that good. It's phenomenal. I'm struggling to find words to talk about this show, and that's a good thing. It's executed perfectly. It's becoming one of my favorite shows. It really is. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.